So basically, by them not being prepped correctly, what we've found is a lot of paint has actually peeled and it's pitted, and these aren't particularly stone chips. I'm sure a few are, but basically what you find on here is where the paint has actually corroded off and just failed, and that's because these haven't been keyed correctly and there's actually no paint here whatsoever. And we also find that the back hasn't been painted. So now what we're having to do is mill this right down. We're going to be doing it with a Scotch pad, then we're going to be sanding it, then we're going to have to try and smooth and flatten these areas here to make sure that the actual surface is perfectly smooth before we put the high build primer on and before we actually repaint them. And again, I'm just finding things like bits of paint on the brake lines and down on the arches, you know, the areas that we kind of obviously make sure we do cover and we don't paint. So what we need to do is spend a couple of hours now on the prep, which is similar to what we normally do. We normally have to spend a few hours anyway, but we're going to have to really mill all this area down and make sure it's perfectly smooth before we put any primer on, because if we do, what will happen is you will see like a ridge on the actual primer and you'll be really obvious that they've just been painted over paint. So that's the tricky bit now. This one's quite bad, to be fair. We've really milled it down, and what we're actually finding on here is a massive lip between the metal. I don't even know if it's primer, but then the paint. So this one's going to have to be really taken back down to nothing. So a couple of hours, we'll try and get a photograph or a video of it with the actual primer on, and then we'll get some more photos of it actually, or videos when it's actually painted, and hopefully we'll get a really smooth finish on this one once we've done. So I'll speak to you in a bit, guys. So we're currently on the 6th attempt now of painting this caliper, and it's finally actually taken to the paint. Now I don't know why that we had problems with it. It's possibly down to whatever paint was currently on the car. There was definitely no primer underneath it. We've taken it right down to almost the bare metal, but there's a reaction that was caused on it, and a couple of the brakes have caused the same reaction, but then we fixed it straight away. This particular caliper now, I've actually literally taken it down with thinners to bare metal pretty much 6 times. This time it's finally bonded. I've put the high build primer back on, I've managed to sand it down and get a smooth finish on it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's now taking the paint. So we'll give it half an hour, we're going to take the bag off, we're going to do the bell housings, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll actually have the coating on all 4 calipers on this one.